Oh boy. Well, here we fucking go.
I've been guilty for making mistakes. So, I went back on there, and there's problems. Well, old videos, of course. People talking about me in a negative sense.
Well, what do you want people to do, you living fucking cum rag? Do you want everyone just to tell you that every horrible fucking thing you did is justified or understandable? Because it's fucking not. So here's the thing I really don't understand about your crazy fucking ass is the fact that you'll openly do shit that you know is gonna make people dislike you all the time, and then you say, well, I don't understand why people don't like me. Really, stupid ass? Is your memory so incredibly fucked up that every single time someone says, hey, this is fucking ridiculous, stop doing this shit, your first thought is to, okay, I'll stop doing it until you're looking away, and then I'll do it again to even more of an extreme. And the moment you say something about it, he's immediately going to pretend that he doesn't understand what you just fucking said whilst you're looking at him while he's doing it. This is literally what would happen if you had like a 5-year-old in the body of like a 32-year-old fucking man.
Well, we make mistakes. Every one of us makes a mistake sometimes. I've been guilty for making mistakes, going to places that I shouldn't have. I've been in a dark place. I know how it feels like.
No, you don't, because genuinely every negative thing that anyone's ever experienced has more or less been a result of your shitty behavior, instead of you genuinely suffering from actual problems that were completely outside of your control. Because genuinely everything you've gone through, with the exception of certain parts of your own life outside of the internet, have more or less been you doing stupid shit and then expecting nothing bad to come of it.
And we all make mistakes. We all do. We're only human. That's what we are.
Human fallibility has nothing with your constant attention to seek clout, you irradiated fucking iguana.
Like back in 2014, when I made a Twitter post, it got the cops involved. I can't give too much detail. But what happened was they came over and they hauled me off to a mental hospital. That was the time when I was in a dark place.
You were in a dark place because your parents are fucking ridiculously stupid and can't handle shit at all that goes on with you. So instead of trying to handle it like a normal fucking parent does and talking to you about what they think that you might want to do with your life, they instead decided to go full fucking Bob Chandler on your ass and basically threaten you with bullshit. And albeit I don't really appreciate the way that they apparently treated you when it came down to what you were going to do for the rest of your life, it still didn't justify the fact that you made a suicide slash homicide threat on your fucking Twitter at that given time like a fucking retard. And this also had to do with the fact that there were people on DeviantArt that also blocked you because you were being a fucking creepy fucking nonce to them. But remember, let's cut that particular part of the history out for the sake of convenience for you.
And I didn't even want to go find a job or anything like that.
You still don't even to this day. Genuinely nothing has changed.
Because it was all downhill from there. And, I didn't feel like it.
See, there's the real reason. You just didn't feel like it because you thought you were going to be some sort of big famous internet star. How's that going for you, champ?
And I still don't feel like it's finding something productive. During my time at the mental hospital, I can remember my old teacher. His name was Dave. He gave me a call there at the mental hospital, and he said that his son did the same thing.
Yeah, but I imagine it was different. I imagine his son might have been there because he might have been genuinely suicidal and depressed because he just wasn't sure about his position in the world or what he was going to do with his life because he just wasn't sure what he really wanted to do or what he needed to do. Whereas with you, it was basically mom and dad told you to get your shit together and you threatened to kill yourself and kill someone else. And because other people were essentially telling you to stay the fuck away from them in DA. Both those situations together culminated in what was essentially the biggest retard meltdown a person could ever have on Twitter, aside from when everyone found out Berserk existed.
But with a different story, I guess. I can't quite remember the details.
Why would you?
We talked for a while. And he said his son did the same thing, you know?
No, I don't know.
And his son ended up at the same place.
You're offering literally zero context.
At a mental facility.
They should have never let your ass out.
Because it's been such a long time. And besides, my old teacher is dead. And we should respect it, you know? Don't go about talking about the dead amongst the living.
No, you fucking retard. The slogan, like the statement is, don't speak ill of the dead. That's not the same thing as simply saying your late teacher had a son that was also in the psych ward for similar reasons. You see, this is why you should not maintain a public platform, because you're generally too fucking stupid to string together a thought that didn't come from the back end of your ass. Which is also where most of your food comes from, apparently.
And, you know, just respect people that pass. Like Bob
Barker.
who did The Price is Right. He died at 99. And the current person who does The Price is Right is Drew, right?
Why is that relevant?
Drew, or whatever his name is, the thick sunglasses, I think.
Can we get to the point, please?
But Bob Baker was a legend.
Get to the point.
And if he made mistakes, if anybody's made mistakes, just let it pass. You know? Don't keep on talking about the mistake that you made. Because you know what, you made that mistake.
It's not a mistake if you do it multiple times, you stupid glue-sniffing fucking gorilla. This is why people like you need to be fucking monitored with some sort of handler. Instead of a caretaker or a relative, you need to just be given like a tard wrangler that keeps you the fuck away from the internet unattended, because you're so damn dumb. You'll legitimately do the same thing hundreds of times over because you don't fucking learn. And a lot of the times it's not even because you genuinely don't mean to do shit, it's that you know exactly the kind of reaction it's going to get from people and you just don't fucking care, so you keep doing shit to instigate trouble, and then you wonder why the fuck it is everyone fucking hates you. You're the kind of fucking moron that will genuinely start shit with people and then be confused that the shit you started ended up going very fucking badly. What a fucking surprise, huh? You blithering spaz.
I mean, I made a bunch of mistakes. And mistakes are just crucial to learning.
But you haven't learned. My question is this: how many times do you need to put your own dick in a mousetrap before you realize it's painful? I don't know. To most people, you don't even need to do it once. Just the thought of it hurts enough to never even attempt it. But to you, apparently, you need to keep putting it in there just to see if it will be different the 30th time.
No. It's like a learning algorithm that teaches you responsibilities.
You can't even be responsible for your own fucking actions, because every time someone tries to hold you accountable, you automatically deny that you fucking do it, and then say you did it like 5 minutes later when you think they're looking the other fucking way because you're an idiot.
It teaches you, that mistake teaches you how to do it right.
There's literally nothing you've ever done that's been done right, because everything you've ever tried to do right more or less resulted in doing horrible shit to get people's attention and then complaining that it ended badly.
That's what it is. And back in 2020 or 2022,
Yeah,
I went to some place that I shouldn't have.
You went to a website filled with CP and basically instructions and manuals on essentially how to groom children and how to convince people that it's okay that they're being groomed. Where the piece of shit that's now currently resting in the deepest pit of hell, I imagine, was responsible for running that piece of shit website, was also convincing young people to starve themselves almost to death to become borderline anorexic for his own amusement. But remember, like, you were there for no reason at all except for the fact that you were, and you sat there basically seeing all this shit happen and didn't really say anything about it or do anything about it because you genuinely didn't give a shit until you were caught on it. Because remember, you cared so much about what people were going through because of those people.
And people people start picking on me, you know?
It wasn't picking on you, you lying little fucking cunt. It's the fact that you did something fucking horrible and then you tried to lie about it to people. And when people tried to basically say, yeah, you fucking did this, you need to stop making fucking excuses for what you did because there is no fucking excuse for it. You basically throw fucking tantrums and scream and cry like a whiny little bitch about it because you know for a fact you don't stand a hope in fucking hell of defending your own goddamn actions. But remember, you're totally on the up and up for every retarded fucking thing that you do.
I mean, I put my real name up on YouTube.
That seems like a your fucking problem.
And I just want people to see. I just want people to see the change.
People can see just fine. You're the biggest C in the room. Do you know what that means? Cunt.
That's what I want.
So you want people to be aware that you're on the platform just so they can run you off of it on a fucking rail. Like, how many people do you think you're going to be able to block before finally everyone just mass reports your shit to get you ripped off of YouTube again? I mean, here's the thing. I got taken off of YouTube over some stupid, petty, duplicitous reporting bullshit. You shouldn't be on YouTube because you've actually genuinely done shit that's illegal and dangerous to the well-being of children. And for some reason, they let your retarded ass stay online, which is confusing to me and everyone else with a fucking brain that doesn't huff paint thinner on their weekend.
I mean, the more traffic I have, the better chances of my success.
You're not gonna succeed because you're generally too fucking stupid to put any work into anything. You literally just do random stupid bullshit and then wonder why it fails miserably and it just crashes and fucking burns. It's kind of bad when the Hindenburg is a more successful chance of maintaining some sort of height.
Like, if I just keep copying and pasting a link into the description of every episode so that people can see my channel of me eating a Big Mac and saying that Big Mac was delicious.
Can you do everyone a favor and stop trying to sound like it's some big exciting thing? It's not. It's literally just some dipshit stuff in his fucking face. I can film myself eating something too. It doesn't require a whole lot of intellect or skill to open your mouth, take a bite, chew, and swallow food. You're literally so fucking stupid you will do anything for some level of attention. I hope the next Big Mac you bite into ends up being one of those Big Macs where the razor blade somehow ends up in it because they have some massive factory recall for the beef patties.
Or me doing a chicken nugget review.
I wish you'd do a Tide Pod review where you just eat all of them at once.
Just something.
Do a Drano review. Seriously, make a Works bomb cocktail and just down that shit.
Just something that will bring people to the channel again.
Will you shut the fuck up, you whiny bitch? I want people to come view my shitty content again, even though I basically created a reputation for myself that's nothing but massively fucking negative. Like, you do realize that if new people come to your channel, people are gonna run into them. They're gonna tell everyone the fucking lexicon of incredibly fucked up shit you did in the past. And people will never be able to look at you the same way because you have a reputation of being a creep and a stalker, a weirdo, some psycho that threatens to dox and swat people. But remember, people are supposed to just forget all that despite the fact that you had no issue with doing any of that shit up until the point to where you realized people were actually watching while you did it. See, that's how you know if someone's a good person or not. When they're willing to do the right thing, regardless of who's watching, as opposed to doing the right thing only when people are paying attention to them. And that's why no one can fucking give you any degree of respect, is because you only do the right thing when you fear consequence will follow doing otherwise. You only do the right thing when you genuinely fear consequence for doing otherwise.
But it won't be the same audience. And I just want to say, every mistake you made is one step to learning.
If it was one step to learning, you would have been a master of something by now, but you're not, so what's that say?
That's what it is. If you're browsing your internet and you come across something that you don't like, or it's horrific for you...
Dude, shut up. This is basically just you, more or less you're saying that whatever you did back then, it was not your fault, despite the fact that you knew what was on it, you knew what it was, people told you what was on it, that it was illegal, that people were getting fucking hurt by it, and what you decided to do was merely go the fuck in there anyway. I mean, this wasn't like you just found a trapdoor randomly in the fucking woods, flipped it open, went down in there, and then realized there was a bunch of horrible shit in there, like human experiments and shit from like World War II Nazi Germany. You openly were warned about what the fuck was there and just chose to go in anyway, and then you started basically proselytizing bullshit about this website, openly allowing other people to go to it, many of whom could have been children. Hell, you even allowed pedophiles from that fucking website onto your server that children were present in, where they could have been groomed or taken advantage of by these people. And for some reason, when people brought that to your attention, you didn't give a shit up until the point where you thought people were going to say something about it to law enforcement. Because you're a lying sack of shit.
No, try to ignore it. Try to ignore it. Because that's at least the best thing you can do in these type of situations.
Yeah, ignore all the bad shit that you more or less contribute to.
Or if it's too gruesome for you, report it. Get the website down.
Literally everything you could have done only could have done damage to to real law enforcement investigations because everything you did basically put these fuckers on high alert and fucked up any chance the cops might have had of catching these assholes.
Whatever it is.
Great job, Wonder Boy.
That you come across.
It's a wonder your smooth-brained ass isn't dead.
I mean, it's kind of weird that people think negative about me and they go,
No, it's not fucking confusing. It's not a mystery, and it's not a wonder. You're legitimately a shitty person that does awful things and then goes out of his way to lie about it. That's not the same thing as someone that does something once by accident, apologizes for it, and then everyone just never forgives them. This was a series of events that you knew full well what the fuck you were doing for the better part of almost 2 fucking years. I don't want to hear jack shit about I didn't know any better because you legitimately fucking knew better and just didn't care.
oh, whatever. Just ignore it. Ignore it.
Yeah, just ignore it. Just be a complete piece of shit and just act like every horrible, fucked up thing you had anything involvement in it didn't exist. Because the people that you more or less spat in the face of as a result of them seeing the horrible shit you are allowing to go on just are not physically there to throw your ass down some fucking stairs. Seriously, if I had found out if I was in Palmdale right now and I was in walking distance, I would have asked to come inside your home. I would calmly sit down with your parents and explain to them every horrible fucking thing that you've done. I will have explained to them the entire situation involving you trying to use your disability as a get out of jail free card for being a fucking psychotic nonce to everyone. And I want to see just how bad your dad whoops your fucking ass. He might even give me permission to throw you down the fucking stairs. I'd do it twice just for good measure. Maybe if you end up a fucking vegetable, you can finally have a purpose. Maybe V8'll sponsor a vegetable.
It's the past. I try to brush the past off my shoulders.
No, it's just that you're a lying piece of shit that would rather not take any bit of accountability for his actions because you know that if you did, you'd have to own up to the fact that you're a genuinely horrible person.
At least that's what I do. I don't care about the past. I'm more worried about the present and the future. What's going to happen to me? That's what I'm more worried about.
Well, it's quite simple. You're going to be doing the same thing you're doing right fucking now. Absolutely fucking nothing. Seriously, 10 years from now, you're going to be doing the same thing, you smooth brained motherfucker. Literally everything you're doing right fucking now is going to be an exact repeat of everything 10 years from now, 20 years from now, up until the point where you're an old man in the fucking old folks home dying of fucking natural causes or a lung shut down. When the people there finally come to their fucking senses and unplug your ass from the fucking oxygen. Seriously, motherfucker, people need to just put you in a place where oxygen is vacant, just so everyone can finally have air that's actually going to be of use to society. Like, somewhere out there is a tree that you need to apologize to because its only purpose is to replace the oxygen you waste by fucking existing.
I mean, I remember back in June, I had 2 phone calls. One from somebody who, I answered and I talked. We all know who that somebody is. He's a really good guy.
Can you stop sucking this person off?
The voicemail as well. Something to do with it. I might be a legitimate policeman, but I'm unaware of that, unsure of that, because I don't know what it was. It sounded serious. I shouldn't have picked it up. but then I blocked those numbers.
So let me get this straight. You have reason to believe law enforcement attempted to contact you directly to potentially ask you to come in for questioning. And your first thought is automatically to block the number of but someone that might possibly be involved with law enforcement. Excellent job. It's going to be really great if you ever do end up going to trial because you're going to be so fucking retarded you're going to do the whole I'm not listening shit to the judge and he's just going to beat you fucking senseless in front of everyone.
Except that other number. But I don't want to say any names here or give anything out. This seems pretty kind of serious. I think I've talked about it before on this show.
It's hard to really keep track because a lot of it's just a bunch of disjointed bullshit where there's no actual rhyme or reason to do it.
Nothing happened. It's just a bunch of backlash. People get butthurt.
You're the biggest butthurt motherfucker in the room because whenever someone says anything at all about you, your first thought is to automatically try to pull the fucking videos down. Even if they actually only use information that you've publicly disclosed completely on your own that does not involve anything to do with your personal privacy because you're a lying cunt. I mean, how many videos have you tried to rip down using privacy complaints? Like what, maybe like go into like the almost tens? And it's all because you're a dipshit that doesn't want to take any bit of responsibility for your fucked up choices?
That's what it is. People like to get butt hurt sometimes, and
You're the biggest butthurt dipshit in the room for the reasons I just explained. Not to mention the fact that you're so fucking retarded you'll pick a fight with someone, but the moment they hit you back, you run away and fucking cry.
they start reminiscing about what other people do, when technically it's none of their business.
Here's the thing, dipshit. The moment you try to make yourself a public figure and you say shit within the public domain, people have the right to respond to it and criticize. For example, if you want to respond to this video once it's uploaded, you have every right to do so. But actually respond to the statements I make. Don't just use my audio and then say nothing about it except for talking only after the fact. If you need to pause the video, respond and resume the video, you may do that. But don't do this lazy ass bullshit where you cut someone's audio, take it from their video, and essentially treat it like 90% of what they're saying is somehow false, if it's not. Maybe, just maybe, you should actually learn how to make real content, you fucking illiterate sped. Your books are complete shit, by the way. I feel like I should just say that now, because I feel like I've been hanging on to that for too long.
That's what it is. I just pretend like it didn't happen.
Yeah, I know. You are perfectly fine with people suffering, just so long as you yourself don't suffer from it, you sack of shit.
It doesn't faze me or anything like that.
It doesn't faze you, but you actively go out of your way to censor your critics and run away every time one of them shows up on a platform straight up telling you that you're a horrible person for the shit that you did, right?
I had a channel of 4K subscribers. Yeah, I know, but that channel's gone.
Can you stop talking to your fucking self?
That channel doesn't exist.
It never should have. Considering the fact the only reason the channel got any real traction is because you were literally just a clout-chasing dipshit.
Plus, he used a Wayback Machine. That was a good time for me there on YouTube. And now I have to start over, and then I can't buy my fame.
You were never famous to begin with. You were only known to people because you were a moron that did stupid shit for attention, the same thing you are now. Nothing has really changed.
Because the moment I do that,
nothing of value is lost.
And this goes down the drain. Because it's all bots. And they were right. They were right. Botting my audience isn't going to work. Because number one, they don't watch the video. Number two, they don't like the video. And number three, they don't comment anything. Unless it's botted comments. It's the fake audience, that's all it is. The entire thing was a facade. It still is to this day, I believe. I'm never going to get anywhere with a fake audience. I may make me look big. May make me look big. But I won't do anything.
You never really do because you have the charisma of a boiled fucking cabbage. Actually, no, because at least the boiled cabbage, you might be able to eat that and survive for a couple days. With you, the person would kill you and they wouldn't even be able to eat you because they'd probably catch knots if they ate your flesh or drank anything from you.
I would just sell my YouTube channel to someone.
I wish you'd donate your body to science so we could finally figure out how a human being functions with literally no fucking brain inside their head. I think you and JFK would get along really well because both your heads are fucking empty.
Yeah, that'd be a bad idea. I want to count my life on it. Because, to get tossed to sell stuff, especially if you're planning on selling something.
It's almost like when you sell stuff, you're selling an item by default, you fucking idiot.
You gotta read the toss.
I'm surprised you can read it all.
That's what you gotta do. Because some websites are against stuff like that.
Well, of course, because that's how people would end up basically fleecing someone. Is like they get a fake account with a bunch of bots. They sell it for like $200. The person ends up with $200, and the other person essentially gets nothing.
Or whatever.
Like how you would basically farm your Discord with all these worthless fucking bots that wouldn't do shit, and then you try to sell it to some dumb fuck who thinks there's a lot of people there because they're famous, some stupid bullshit like that.
Oh, I do have an Instagram, a TikTok for 11.5.
Could someone explain to me how the fuck anyone follows you unironically, considering the fact that you have the intelligence of a broken fucking crayon? Seriously, a quasi-intelligent fetus? How does it feel knowing that every single breath you take, a tree has to replace that oxygen? Just because you don't know how to do something meaningful with your time that doesn't involve rambling like a dipshit for an hour.
With some real people in it, commenting, liking everything I post.
I don't get how anyone can like whatever you post, considering the fact that all you do is post yourself doing stupid random bullshit.
I mainly like to use TikTok. I think YouTube is not a good place.
You use TikTok because it's easy as shit for you to cry over stupid shit and get away with things you couldn't normally get away with on fucking YouTube. Not to mention the fact that it's easy for people like you to get traction on TikTok because retards usually get famous there because everyone has like a 10-second long fucking attention span there.
YouTube is trash, in my opinion.
Okay, well tell me something. Is YouTube trash because it lets people like you circulate other people's information and lets nonsense do shit that's otherwise illegal? Or is it trash simply because of the fact that people that ridicule you maintain a presence there and you can't get away with being a lying cunt to everyone? Which is it? Is it A or B? Because I know it's not a third option. Although although I do think it's going to be the latter more than the former, considering the fact that you yourself don't care about nonsense being there. In fact, you'd pretty much be among friends if they were everywhere.
But, it is what it is. YouTube was a good place. It's just that YouTube went downhill,
I love how you're not even going to explain how it went downhill because you're genuinely too fucking stupid to actually go into detail because you don't organize a single fucking thought you have.
I can't believe some people like to use it.
I can't believe you still maintain a pulse, but here we are.
I'm not really fond of YouTube type.
Or thinking critically, or showering, or brushing your teeth, or staying the fuck away from children, but
A guy. Not when I was and everything set up to do whatever it is.
Very descriptive, dumbass.
And YouTube isn't that good of a place, in my opinion.
Well, here's the thing. You're allowed to have that opinion, but that doesn't really mean jack shit if literally everything you fucking do is you just being a fucking retard to everyone and then saying they have to fucking deal with it.
Say what you will, do what you must. But
if I did what I must, you wouldn't be breathing.
Yeah. TikTok's got some restrictions that you have to follow. You can't post a phone number. You can't do much of anything. You can't do much,
You mean you can't be a fucking retard and dox yourself in front of everyone again for attention? Holy fucking shit, it's almost like the one platform that could save your ass is the one you're complaining about now.
Because they will take your video down and they will mute your video if the audio doesn't meet the requirements.
Every video you make should just be muted with the general understanding that you don't say a shit of value. Now, I'm not going to listen to the rest of this shit because the next 45 seconds of it are basically just him going off on some retarded ass tangent about his TikTok following. But let me just say this, Mr. Smooth Brain Criminal. You genuinely don't say shit of value or interest to literally fucking anyone. I could suffer a lobotomy with a fucking ice pick, and I could still come off more intelligent than you'll ever be, because at least I actually would have put time to actually learn where to put the fucking pick in my head to give myself the fucking lobotomy. With you, it would just be you being a fucking dipshit to everyone and then pissing and moaning about people saying that you did this to yourself. Knock it off. You're trying to start fights with people that you cannot fucking handle confrontations with, and you're doing this shit again because you know for a fact that you want the fucking attention. You gotta stop this shit because it's not helping you and it's only gonna make your life worse. If you really want your life to be better, stop doing this dumb shit where you talk smack about someone but vaguely, and then you sit there saying, I don't understand why they heard this, because you're a fucking babbling dipshit. Get a fucking life, Lance, before you end up wasting it.